Joined now by the head coach of the Minnesota State Mavericks, Mike Hastings. Your thoughts on this 2-1 overtime win over Michigan Tech here tonight, Mankato?
Well, you assume just because of the battles that we've had in the past, and then watching how Tech has played their year every game they're in, and their losses have been just like tonight. They've been 1-goal losses, so you knew it was going to be a battle, and it was. I thought we played a good hockey game. We weren't real effective on the power play, didn't get many opportunities, nor did they. And it was a real good battle, 5-on-5. We didn't cash in on some opportunities that I thought we could have, but I think you've got to give credit to Pietila and really just Michigan Tech. They're a really good hockey team, and you thought it was going to be a battle, and it was. And it was nice to see us be able to find a way to play from behind against a quality team like that and still find a way to win. So it was a good win for us.
Kevin, do you have a question?
Mike, given the defensive prowess of both teams, I think both programs pride themselves on that. And obviously the goaltenders are a part of that. Any surprise that it was, I think, hard for, both teams to come by goals tonight?
Not at all. It's the same old when you play a team that's as accomplished as they are. And they're deep. They're deep up front. They're deep back at the blue line. I think he played very aggressive tonight, and was rewarded for him being aggressive. So you better be prepared when you get into games like this to understand that it's going to be a play here or a play there, offensively or defensively. It's going to make a difference. And, you look at the save at the end of the game by Dryden to give us a chance to get to overtime. A lot of momentum swings, and it was a really good hockey game.
Daniel, do you have a question?
Hey, Coach. It seems like there were a lot of individual mistakes tonight. There was not catching passes, not getting a good shot off, or not staying on your feet. Do you think that was a big reason as to why tonight went the way it did?
Well, I don't know. I think both teams pride themselves on trying to take away time and space and not give up anything easily. And so with that, there's not a lot of room out there. And so I think you saw both rosters playing their tails off, trying to make plays. Both teams do pride themselves also on being puck possession teams. And when you have two teams defending and trying to possess the puck, there are going to be some mistakes are made. That's the game of hockey. There are mistakes. You want to make fewer than the other team, and can you capitalize on them when they make them, and can you make sure that they don't when you make the mistakes? So I just thought it'd be a battle, and it was tonight.
Kevin, do you have another question?
Mike, just a little more on Dryden's save. I think that's about as big time as they come with Hallie and a player of that caliber skating down him and in that spot. I mean, is there anybody you'd rather have there? I mean, it just seems like, Pietila, I think, is going to get talked about a lot tonight for his game, but that was a moment right there where Dryden stole one for you.
It's a game changer. We're not having this conversation that we're having right now, being able to secure a home win in overtime without the save. And, I've learned over 3+ years now with him, nobody's harder on Dryden than Dryden. And nobody has greater expectations for him than himself. And, he hadn't had a ton of action. And so for him to be on his toes and make the save was, I think, very indicative of his preparation, and happy for him because, he's the type of guy when the first one goes in, he doesn't look at anybody else. He looks at himself. And so he came back, and I thought was a difference maker for us.
Daniel, do you have one more question?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on Nathan Smith one more time. Nathan Smith is a very emotional player, and you could see him get pretty frustrated tonight a few times. Do you think that limits his game, or do you think that feeds into what makes him such a good player?
I think he's got a burning desire to be an excellent hockey player. He's got tremendous expectations for himself. He's still learning to manage them, but boy, I'd rather tame a tiger, than try and get somebody to get up and be emotionally involved. He's a special player. And I don't know what you thought, but I thought he settled right down there in the third period and played an outstanding third period, and obviously had a really good overtime. So, yeah, his emotions got to him a little bit, but I really thought he showed some maturity there in the third period and overtime at just going out and playing hockey.
Final question for Mike before we bring in Nathan Smith. Kevin, do you have a question?
Mike, I know, Napravnik, Smith, Rosie, the way those guys pass the puck, they're dangerous 5-on-5, but in a 4-on-4 setting like that, I think we saw very quickly there how electric they can be. How nice is it to know going into an overtime period like that, you've got guys that can move the puck the way those three can, that you can put out there?
Well, you know what? We've got a lot of confidence in all three of those guys for what they've done in their time here, and they've earned the opportunity. And it, obviously as a coach, you like having them sitting on your bench wearing your jersey. And those guys, they want the opportunity to, most players that are worth their salt, they want the opportunity at the most important time. And those three guys, there's no wilting to them. And I'm proud of the way they played, and they were rewarded for it.
Mike, thanks very much. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Joined now by junior center Nathan Smith. Let's go right to questions, beginning with Kevin Dudley.
Hey, Nate. Dryden McKay, I know he does a lot for you guys every night, but in this one tonight, in the last 30 seconds, he really saved you guys bacon, a clean breakaway, their leading scorer, and puck on a stick. Talk about what he meant to your team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big factor every single night. We know we can always count on Dryden. And for that play right there, just a little defensive breakdown, and you got a breakaway. But, we held our breath, and he made a big save.
Daniel, would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, hey, Nate. It's safe to say you're a pretty emotional player, and you obviously have a passion for the game. And I was talking about with Coach, do you think your emotions make you a better player, or do you think they get the best of you sometimes?
I think a little bit of both, and it's something I'm working on. But yeah, I mean, I would say both. On both sides, I let them get the best of me, and sometimes it affects me, sometimes it doesn't. I just got to get better at flushing it.
Kevin, do you have another question?
Nate, 4-on-4 in an overtime situation, you skate so well. Are those situations you like to be in, not only because of how big the moment is, but because I think it's something that, suits your skill set?
Absolutely. Yeah. I love, it's open ice. I grew up playing roller hockey, and that was 4-on-4. So I'm completely used to playing that, and I'm really comfortable in doing so.
Another question? Daniel, do you have a question?
Yeah, Nate, seems like you're chasing Ryan for the leading goal scorer position. How many more do you think you're going to get on him?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
Kevin, you have a final question for Nathan Smith. Yep.
Talk about them defensively tonight, Nate. I know that, they're one of the toughest, they're one of the best defensive teams in the country. Coach talked about that this week. What did they do that made it so tough for you guys to score tonight?
Well, they have good sticks. They get their bumps when they can. They definitely don't make it easy to play against them down low. They have like a little bit of swarm going on down there. So it's hard to get possession, and just a lot of sticks going on down there. There's not much space, and they just kind of squeeze you off. So you got to keep the puck moving and get shots towards the net.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.